All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This Week in Base Hit, where I am your host. That's right, my name's Zuba, Z-U-B-A to the Z, and I am joined, as always, by my friend and co-host, Citizen Clone. Clone, how was your week?
It is better because the Dodgers finally fucking figured out what's going on. Except both of our teams cannot be going in the same direction at the same
They
time.
just can't. Brewers just got swept by the hometown Texas Rangers down here,
I
so
was
that's
thinking
been rough.
about, I've thought a couple different times about how it would be fun if Dodgers and Brewers go against each other in the playoffs. And then more recently, I've been thinking that's going to be ugly if that happens. 'Cause
Yeah, it'll be
you and I
tough.
have been on a journey
It'll be tough.
here. You and I have been on a journey. But anyway, I'm ready to
Yeah,
root for you guys if I need to.
yeah. I'll root for well, because we talk about it a lot. I root for the Dodgers all the time. Only time I don't is when they're playing the Brewers. Um,
What's the
but
picture back there? What's
but
the
today
picture
we're
back
going to
there?
talk about the New York Mets because I've heard a lot of talk about the Brewers this year, and a lot of people saying this is the new Moneyball. Like that's what they keep saying is like as a team, the Brewers have are the smallest market team. They're finding a way to win because they're doing something different in the front office. But I want to talk about something different because the one thing, if you could boil down Moneyball to one thing that they showed in the movies, it was getting on first base. It was walks. It was how to avoid double plays. It was even getting hit by pitches. Like that was like a focus of the movie. The Mets are doing something this year. One thing that, if you boil it down to one thing, is the biggest thing since Moneyball, and it's also the most underreported thing. And I want to get everybody's eyes on it because I think it's magical. Really. The Mets, if you look at sprint speed, they average sprint speed by team and number of plate appearances. So, like, how much speed have you gotten out there? The worst team in baseball is the New York Mets. They are the slowest team in baseball because you think about Pete Alonso and up until this season, Soto's most stolen bases were 12. Francisco Lindor is the only guy in their starting lineup that's even above average speed in the league. But now I'm going to blow your mind. When it comes to steal efficiency, i.e., stolen bases to caught
Yeah,
stealings, the Mets are number one.
interesting.
Juan Soto is on track to have 35 stolen bases, tripling his stolen bases from any previous year, even though his sprint speed is actually the lowest it's been in his career. Now, I'm going to tell you how they're doing it because this is have this spectacular scouting plan on pitcher and catcher tendencies that no one's really focused on knowing when, based on things that I don't even know and have not been reported, but you can see it. And there's this oh gosh, I had it for the thing. We'll link it. I'll send you the video. There's this guy that did this breakdown of it where they're able to tell when pitchers are definitely going to go to the plate, even if they have disengagements left. And you'll see over and over guys like Soto being able to take secondary leads that are like halfway to second base. And somehow before they've even pitched, they're already on their way to second base.
There a
And
name of this? Is there a name of this system to go along with torpedo bats or anything else?
no, I don't know,
Right.
but they're crediting. And I'm sorry, I came a little underprepared. I'm forgetting the name of their first base coach, but this guy used to be the San Francisco Giants first base coach when the Giants last won their World Series, and they're crediting him because he's clearly, you can see he's giving them the instruction that they can steal now, and like he knows, like you can see him watching it, and he will give them the instruction, and they'll just take off. And so seeing Juan Soto being so slow and watching him steal bases, and with the highest efficiency, they also lead Major League Baseball in the number of no throws by catchers on steal attempts. which means they're so far that the catcher has decided not even to take a chance throwing. And this is the slowest team in baseball. Could you imagine what they could do with a fast team? And so, in honor, I'm wearing I'm wearing my Mets hat. I'm also wearing the oven mitt, so that they use on their steal attempts. Uh, so this thing is very hot, by the way. I don't know how they wear this thing, but I think I also have it upside down now that I think about it. Um,
You're a lover of America right there.
so,
Uh,
and for everybody that knows, Russ got me an oven mitt for my birthday. This is oven mitt.
that's pretty funny.
So that's the Mets. So I think that's pretty cool.
And yet, long time listeners, long time will remember that you said that the Mets were not going to make the play. You said the Mets and the Yankees.
Well, I said that was my hot take for the year. So I went out
I've
on
been
the
watching
edge.
it the whole time, and the Mets are playing around with the idea of not making the
They're
playoffs.
teetering. And the
Uh,
Yankees are going to win because the AL West has just decided that they're all going to play 500 ball down the stretch. But there was a time that the Yankees were looking like they might fall out. Now they're probably going to be first in, after the
yeah,
after
yeah.
the division winners.
Mets, it could still happen though. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's. I think they're probably going to get in, but boy, like I really like that as a hot take, and it is proving to be true. You look at like some of the sloppy ass play the Yankees have in the field. Even the Mets, like the just like defensively, they just both look so undisciplined.
But they
You
got it
know,
together with the base pass.
but they got it. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but it's going to be studied by every team in baseball
Uh,
because they figured something out.
so you didn't even know what I was going to talk about, but you
No,
don't realize that you fucking nailed it because it was all base running related.
I
It's
nailed
all
it.
base running related, man.
All right,
Because
what
we
is
just
it?
put out, well, we just put out the update to, the settings. Well, we had the other updates before. We just did the update to the extra base settings that I
Yep.
don't even remember what that we talked about, but
We have not talked about it on the podcast. I think people would like to hear more about it for sure.
I'm not sure what we should say about it. I think there was a thought amongst lots of owners in the league, like you want to run a lot, you crank up the um, take an extra base setting, and with the idea, the obvious expectation that your attempts are going to go up and your accuracy will go down.
I think it was generally, not to interrupt, but I think it was like a general consensus with experienced owners that base running, you should always just max out, right? Like I don't know if everybody felt that way, but I had felt that way for years.
Yeah, I thought that way
But
too.
I didn't know
We were
why.
wrong, and we
Yeah,
were wrong
and we were wrong.
because
Yeah.
we realized that uh, that setting is, was being totally overweighted, whatever, by
By
size of the stadium.
size of the stadium. Yeah.
So in reality, stadium was wiping out that setting. If you had a big stadium, you were running an insane amount compared to other stadiums. And really, when you're cranking it up, you were just hurting your accuracy, I mean, your success rate more than anything. So
Yeah.
realized this is not how we intended the game to work, and we made the change. And now I think it makes a lot of sense. The stadium still has an impact. It's a
As it
lot
should.
less. It's a
Yeah.
lot less, yes. But because of singles and doubles and flyouts, you're gonna have more chances to run. People in big stadiums will still run more, but now the setting has a bigger impact and the actual speed of the players, because all of that stuff was getting washed out. So um, we did a lot of testing on that, and it was always out of whack, and now it's a lot more normal. Might take a little while for people to get used to it if they were running big stadiums, but if you got a fast team, if you have a fast team and you're willing to crank up that setting, you're still gonna run a ton.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I
but
think
I'll go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like the message I wanted to send to everybody is like this is also I know not, everybody's not into the game design behind the scenes, but when I talk about like the problem with tweaking anything in the game is there's dozens of variables that can be affected by it. And so that's why we're very deliberate, and it might seem like sometimes we're moving slow with some of the changes in the game, but we want to be very deliberate in the changes we make because historically changes have been made quick, and then all of a sudden there's all these downstream effects that are really hard to distinguish what's causing what. And this was one of those cases.
Now you got to not say that because I got another change that we haven't even talked about.
Well,
Because
no, but
now,
that, but that,
no, you're right. You're
yeah, yeah,
absolutely right. You're
yeah,
absolutely right. You're just saying that right before I tell you another change that we're going to make
yeah.
to the base
The
running.
tweak that we're just going to do on the fly.
Pretty much, exactly. So, but yes, we've been careful, and there's all kinds of in-game changes that we wanted to make that we haven't. And more recently, I'm saying again, contests, and I mean it, that it's a lab and it shows things in the game in a way that we haven't been able to see before because you see people using the same players, and it just
And you see a
in
bunch of seasons really quick with with a lab of the same players in different situations, different
yep.
set. Yeah, it is really magnificent.
And yeah, and you're not drafting, you're not having to wait years. You're seeing the impact right away. So we
Yep.
saw that we were seeing that with the base running because we kind of knew it was out of whack, but we didn't fully know, and then we got it. So another one to go along with this, and this is kind of to throw a bone back to teams that our running teams. Anyway, one little thing that we've all known that is broken and that Mike and I are looking into is changing the way that playing a player out of position at catcher changes. So that has been the penalty for doing that has been way too low. You'll probably see it in leagues, and it frustrates a lot of people that you go against somebody that's got a left fielder playing at catcher and he's throwing your guys out.
Your best hitter, worst defensive guy, and just hide him at catcher. That's a stupid thing.
Um,
Yeah.
so we're going to fix that.
Yeah.
We're specifically fixing that scenario to change it so that the success rate uh, is a lot better against guys playing out of position at catcher. People are going to run more, and I just think it makes sense for the game that we there's other things we want to do, but making catchers be actually valuable and having a backup catcher actually be valuable. So that's like a little thing that's like coming.
Yeah, that fits exactly with what I'm
That's
saying
what I'm
though.
saying.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, because like if you remember, like the intention way back in the day was to make catchers as important as they actually are, so much so that it was one place that back when you could automatically switch positions by playing a player at a position more than 81 games. With catcher, you had to do it multiple years. So you had to suffer through multiple years. And now somehow, like, because of other little tweaks during the time, now that has become so irrelevant that everybody stashes like out of position guys at catcher.
Yep.
And getting that fixed, I think, is important because you're exactly right. Like, even in the contests, like how important are you finding backup catchers because you're forced to play
That's what
catchers? I mean, it's
that's
so noticeable.
you can't play guys out of position, but yeah, but
But
having a
but
backup
guys coming off the bench
guys
and
coming off the bench,
yeah,
yeah. And if they're playing catcher, yeah. So
yeah. And again, that's because of how the contests are that became very noticeable. Yeah.
we had
And there's
some
a
of the
hot tip for
some of
you.
the
If you're
some of
not having success in the game, there's a tip right there. If you
the
didn't catch on, rewind, listen to this again.
uh I'm going to be putting the word out on this fast because we're hoping to make this change next week. We've been testing it. We had already done a bunch of testing on the impact on the base running and everything else for the changes we made, and so then we're looking into this right now. Mike's got lots of tests running, but yeah, trying to fix this issue to make it so that for teams that are running. If you're running against a team that is paying no attention to having a catcher with an arm, you're going to have better success rates. You're going to run more, and making that piece something else you need to pay attention to, which I'm excited about. And to go along with that, and you didn't even know it, I had themed the contest for this week, which you haven't seen, and all the opponents this week are all speed monsters because I'm going along with the base running. Base running was in the news. We'll see what happens. We'll see
Are
what
you
happens.
going to crank up the computer team's manager settings too and just like have them
Oh,
just,
yeah, it's going to be up, yeah, from what it had been, yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
all right.
they're all speedy. Who knows? Maybe it'll be easy, whatever. But base running has been in the conversation, so I figured it was a good time for us to play around with it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, and here's another hot tip for the contest. If you're not looking at the computer teams, I've already said this a million times, scout the computer teams throughout the week, but also better start scouting the settings that Clone's putting them at because he's starting to switch them up. And if you didn't look at it this week, you might have not made it to Wednesday, or might not made it to Thursday because you were tweaking those settings, and there's ways to take advantage of what you did, and there's ways to get decimated. So there you go.
yeah,
Hot
yeah.
tips.
We're doing this one early, so I don't know what's going to happen with the finals. I did mention earlier, 2 weeks ago, you were hot on my team, telling me how good they were, and then they did really well. I was like, oh,
They
he knows what
did.
he's doing.
Yep.
This week, I was like, how you feeling about my team? And you were looking at him, you're like,
They're fine.
which
I mean, they are
has
doing
made
well,
me
but
feel awful all week
no,
long.
no,
I've been like, my team stinks,
no,
and I
they're
couldn't
doing
even
fine.
tell why, but I just totally know that they're not going to make it to the final.
They're
So,
fine. They're fine.
yeah, right, right, right.
Yeah, they're good.
Uh,
Um, Congrats to the kid. I just want to
he
show,
did it again. He did it
yeah,
again.
yeah, and he made it again. So the kid, he's been playing contests, been in 14 contests. He had yet to make a Wednesday. He made his first Wednesday. I'm proud of him for fighting through. But he has a good team too, and like he made it to Thursday too. I didn't want to jinx him, but I thought he could make it to Thursday. Made it to Thursday. Who knows? He might make it to Friday. But honestly, like I'm almost rooting for him more than I'm rooting for me. Like because I think that'd be a good story. So good luck to the kid. And I want to encourage Wit because he didn't make it to Thursday. It would have been his first Thursday, and he seemed poised for a breakthrough. Yeah, so you know, um, and then uh, too bad to Slick. He wins the Pythagorean Award on the downside this week because he had like an 84 run and got bounced. So sorry, Slick. And yeah, yeah,
Uh, I had not gotten to look at it quite as much as you had, but I did see the kid
the
who you
kid.
had
I added
the
the
kid.
dick. I didn't mean it. I just got a little dyslexic with the letters, but I edited it to
No,
dick.
it's all, I'm looking. I want more people getting through. We got some early. Hardy's got a shot. He's up there. Jar's got a shot. He's up there. They're both knocking on the door.
Yep, to break through and win one.
There's some other
Yeah.
usual suspects, but
Actually, my honestly, like my dark horse is G Challenger this week. I love his team, and he had like a Pythagorean down too, but he still made it through. But he had like the second highest run diff, but he finished like in 14th place.
I hadn't seen. I don't
Yeah,
know if you're somebody that's doing the contest, if you got to be on Discord, surely, but Brent is starting to do some
he's
awesome
doing some
content
analysis.
related to the contests,
You
and
want to learn some stuff, you got to get into Discord.
I've been waiting for his charts. This is what he did in TCL for years. He's a chart monster. He's a data visualizer, and that stuff is exciting. And he also said that I got lucky coming to today, and I accept that because
Because he would
I'd
know.
already been told my team wasn't that great.
He
But
he might win this week too.
yeah, oh yeah, he's up there too.
Yeah, yeah. He's like one of those guys you see coming and you're like, oh, it's just a matter of time before he starts dominating. So it's just,
Narrowing, he's narrowing it
we
in.
just
Yep.
have to be, I'm just gonna try to be good as long as I can and then flame out or quit and pretend I'm retiring.
There you go.
Eh,
So yeah, base running change I will be announcing, and that should be coming soon. And those are little, we're figuring out ways to get into around some of the edges of the gameplay, and I think hit some smart things that we've all known are out of whack, and get them fixed up. And I'm excited about it.
It's awesome. Hey, can we extend the podcast for 3 minutes? I just want to talk about the broadcaster jinx real quick. because we both happen to bring this topic up at similar times. Do you want actually? Could you give some background on what you were talking about yesterday on what brought the broadcaster jinx
Uh,
up to you?
I was watching, yeah, I was watching the Dodger game. I'm sure it's because of if people don't know what happened a week ago, Dodgers were 1 out away. Yamamoto was 1 out away from a no-hitter. Uh, and this guy I'm talking to also did some jinxing, but
I did.
and the stuff the broadcasters were talking about, they just acted like it was going to be done. Uh, they were just talking about what a good day it was, even if it didn't get done. It was like all this stuff. And then he gave up a home run on the last out, and then the Dodgers let the Orioles score four, and it was the worst. And then last night,
One of the
or
worst regular season losses I've ever seen.
oh, it's terrible. Oral Hershiser, who is maybe still my favorite baseball player, and I love him as a commentator. But last night, and I'm sure it was in response to that, he was suggesting that broadcasters have no impact. Broadcasters don't jinx no hitters. That
Yeah.
it's all a myth. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dan?
Yeah. So this is why I wanted to bring this up, is because I don't remember historically, I've watched baseball my entire life, broadcasters even bringing up this idea of a broadcaster jinx until like last year. And then all of a sudden, like, I hear them talk about it all the time now. Like the Brewers announcers, the other day,
They're a
he's like,
notorious one.
no, I just hear him bringing it up all the time. There's an NBA one I remember that felt a little notorious that went viral, but they're like, he had a double in his last 82 plate attempts. He's due, and the guy's like, why would you say that, broadcaster jinx? And then they had this little conversation about the idea of the broadcaster jinx. And anybody that has known me for even a minute knows that I know the jinx is real. And even if it isn't, I'm always going to believe that it is because why tempt it? Like it's always been that way. And so I believe in the jinx in kind of a pragmatic way. But I wanted to put out there that I think the idea of a broadcaster jinx has to go away. It's important for the game. Like I actually think it's important that they stop talking about this because if broadcasters start like getting in their own head about jinxes, they're going to stop doing their job.
Yep.
And their job needs to be informative and complete with the narratives. Because, like, can you imagine taking that to an extreme and they're not talking about the potentiality of a no hitter in the ninth when people are watching and they have some people might not even know because it's not like the scoreboard's on the screen. Like,
You're you're
I
right.
just
I mean,
think it's weird that, like, it feels like that has to be like some sort of sacrosanct place that we just say no jinx is allowed in the broadcast booth. What do you think?
think you could be careful the way that you talk about it. I think we could put warnings like you do with drugs and stuff. You can put warnings on the screen that like the jinx does not whatever that this uh the
Yeah, like they
universe
border the
the
screen
universe
with
does not support whatever is
like it's some jinx
endorsed
shield
or
or
what.
something
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the screen.
Um,
But you know what I'm saying? Like it feels
no, I know
weird.
what you're
Like if
saying. Yeah,
they
you got to
let
talk
that
about it.
leak in there, it's going to be a problem.
And yes, I do think that there's different ways that you can talk about it, and you could say you can always say if instead of I don't know
Yeah.
when you're I
I
don't know.
agree with you. If they
Like,
talk about it
I'm
like
more of a freak than
saying
you are.
this is going to be the first no hitter of the year, and it's like, oh no, that's a jinx.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
they say if he completes this, it would be the
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. I just
So
we have a long history on this, and I just always believe I don't know. People are impatient, whatever. Like, just enjoy it when the thing is done. You don't need to. You don't need to. I mean, you know what I mean.
so
Anyway.
so I brought this up because I want this to be a topic of conversation because I'm curious what the community thinks about the broadcaster jinx specifically, not jinxes in general, because I think everybody was short of Clayton Kershaw believes
No.
in not tempting the jinx. Not the real Clayton Kershaw, our Clayton Kershaw, because he is a vocal anti-jinxer.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say anti-jinx because that's a version of the jinx. He's a contra jinxer.
Yeah,
So let's get a conversation about this on Discord, maybe in the uh, MLB thread about broadcast jinxing, because I'm very curious what everybody's take on this is, and see if they think my take is right on it or not,
I
or what
know.
jinxes they've seen happen with broadcasters.
I could tell just from the way Hershiser was talking about it that he must
Got
have taken a bunch of grief this
bunch of
week.
shit. Yeah, for sure.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep.
And he
But it's
felt,
also, I mean,
but
he
he
talked
felt
about,
he felt compelled to say it because of what I'm saying. Like he feels like he can't do his job fully, so he
yeah.
just wants to be like, nah, nip it in the bud.
But it's like, I mean, is it still, players trying not to talk to the guy, or I mean, it's like bowling a 300. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you even see small stuff like still to this day, the majority of pitchers jump over the first or third base line when they're
yep,
going out to the mound, like even small stuff like that.
yep.
And um, the on MLB TV, they talk about like rally hats. Have you seen that commercial
Yep.
where
Yep. Data.
since people wear rally hats, like comebacks have increased twofold, and it's like, don't put that in my head, man. I will rally hat it up right now. I love the
Uh,
rally hat. I believe in it.
that is a good ad. All
Yep.
right. That's a good
So
look to end on.
all right. So that's it. So get into Discord. Let's talk about the broadcaster jinx. I'm really curious. And then also, if I'll send you the link, Russ. If we can include the link to this Fangraphs article about these Mets, it's really
All
shocking
right.
how good they are. So there you
All right.
go.
Sounds good.
Till next week. We're out of here.